My name is Mark Polt, and I'm a buy and hold real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I wanted to share a story of something that happened to me recently. We're supposed to leave on a Saturday to go to Cancun. My wife's $2. First time that we traveled internationally with them. Friday before, we really didn't have any notice that this was coming down the pipeline, but we got a court order to tear funds out of our business bank account. It's called a levy, and had to do with some property taxes I wasn't aware that I was going to be responsible for. I'm not going to sit here and say that ignorance is an excuse, because it's not. In researching this and making sure that I wasn't being hoodwinked or screwed or whatever you want to call it, I actually learned a lot. I learned more about the process. I learned more about what's supposed to go on. I need to talk with the county to make sure that I get proper notice next time. I'm not denying that I owe the taxes. North Carolina General Code says I do, but I want to talk about the hardships and the ramifications of what happened to us. So, I bank with Suntrust, and if you bank with Suntrust or you're thinking about banking with Suntrust, I would highly recommend that you don't on a business account. I used to bank with them personally, but I wouldn't bank with them personally either. But I've been with them since 2007, and it's just been easier to stay with them than it has to try to move on to, and create another relationship. They're merging with BB&T, and I'm hoping that BB&T comes out on top with their system better than Suntrust. So, one of the good things, and they're way behind the times on technology, but they now have the ability to be able to deposit checks at the ATM. I didn't find out about this until about 8:30 at night. I was just sitting down to have a drink and realized what was going on. And what happens is, when these levies happen, they put you in what's called a no debit status, where you can't take anything out. But that doesn't mean you can't put stuff in. However, Suntrust, in their infinite wisdom, decided that when you go into a no debit status, they're also going to disable your ATM access. Now, I'd come up with a brilliant idea of being able to get in front of this, because I was a couple $1,000 short. And I'm like, okay, I'll just deposit, $4,000 or $5,000 from my personal account into the business account. It'll get me through this levy, and I'll be able to, figure out, unravel everything I get back on the international trip. So lo and behold, I go to the Suntrust ATM around 9:30. They would not allow me to deposit anything. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Really? This is just the stupidest, process I've ever seen. I have a chance to get in front of this thing and, have everything happen normally. But they've denied me the one thing I can do after 5 p.m. because, heaven forbid, it may be open after 5 p.m. On a Friday. There's nothing I can do. So it goes into this no debit status, and we have drafts going out of our bank account, paying off credit cards, going into other accounts, escrow accounts for property taxes, and various other things in other institutions. All of that's put on hold. Duke Energy, which is a power company, they draft automatically for the business. Anyways, the next day I put it in. I guess it was on a Thursday is when it happened. On a Friday I deposited like $7,000 just to make sure. Well, we left that Saturday, came back on Thursday evening, still in the same status. It wasn't until the following Monday when they decided that they would take out. So they took out about $4,000 or $8,000 that this levy was for. It took them another 10 days to actually do a sweep routine to get the remainder. And once they did that, they released my bank account and they would use it normally. However, there's huge ramifications. I'll give you one of them. So because Duke Energy failed to do a draft, my business now has to pay a deposit every time we bring up, at least for the next year, every time we activate a new property. Very inconvenient, very much a pain in the butt, something I rarely have to deal with, but I have to deal with for another year at least. my personal bank, which is USAA, I use different accounts on there to escrow. So they're dedicated savings accounts or checking accounts. Just for property tax escrow. I also use it to store security deposits. Well, I just linked my business account to it. You can transfer funds in that. That's all jacked up. Kind of got half of it back and working, but it's still not quite working right. Had several credit cards that didn't make it. They were a couple of days past the due date. I think there's like a 5-day grace period after the dates the due date. So I'm not exceedingly worried about that. But, we have some introductory APRs on some of our business bank credit cards where we pay 0% interest for the first year, and that gets thrown into jeopardy if you don't pay on time. And then there's just the whole stress of why is this so stupid? They did a sweep program on an $8,000 levy, able to get about $4,500 of it. I'm an IT guy, I'm not a programmer, but it's just not that hard to set it up. And next day, the next hour, the next minute, hey, if funds are there, then take them, release account. Else, keep everything the same. And I just don't understand why they would do this to their customers, why they would set up this process. The majority of it is, I'm sure, that these executives have never been entrepreneurs. I know that these vice presidents and presidents of businesses think that they're entrepreneurs. They don't have to deal with this. I'm a small business customer, not some large dealership or something like that that's got millions and millions of dollars going on here. What the hell do they care? So, I ended up emailing one of the vice presidents that I found on some website that helps you get to the person that can help you out. About a week later, I get a call back asking me, do I still have this problem? If so, here's your case manager. But the one thing that irritated me the most about this entire process, I'm going to end with this, is I would call up Suntrust and they'd be like, well, you need to call Mecklenburg County Tax Enforcement, here's the phone number. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, but when are you going to do your part? Well, there's nothing we can do. We have to call them. And I would call them, and they'd be like, well, we haven't received the check yet, so we can't release this levy. And then I'd call back Suntrust, and they'd be like, well, there's nothing we can do. You have to call, Charlotte Mecklenburg Tax Enforcement Office. As if Suntrust had no part in this. As if they played zero role in this. As if they were just some bystander watching this go by, which is not true. They have the obligation to send a check. They obviously know if they've sent a check. There's obviously a tracking number and things along that line. And it just pissed me off. It just irritated the shit out of me that they would sit there and act as if they have nothing to do with it. There's nothing they can do. It's all on this other entity. When that's just not true. So, fuck Suntrust Bank. We're actually going to bring up another business account with another institution. I haven't decided who. Maybe Wells Fargo. I can't stand the empire from like Star Wars, which is making America. So, anyways, I hope this was informative. This is part of doing business. This is part of having business accounts. If you're not willing to put up with stuff like this, then you definitely don't want to be in this business. And if you're flush with funds, hey, then you probably won't ever have this problem. But if you're struggling or trying to make that base of of your business, of your cash flow, so that you have a good solid base that you're built upon, you may run into this. Anyways, I hope you go out there and live the You Won't Stop Me lifestyle. It's about 3 things: knowledge, wisdom, and experience. Once you gain those, it doesn't matter what happens. Come on, they can go down, come take it away. Suntrust can take all your money, you'll still be able to get it back. I wish you success.